Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Scott. Scott is from Los Angeles in California in the USA. So let's see what Scott has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Scott. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you
So
for interviewing.
tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's good. So I work from home. I have a just a standard 9 to 5, and right now I'm working. I work from home on Mondays and Fridays. So today I am currently working from home. This is my lunch break.
Amazing. So tell me, what do you do for work, for living?
So two different things. So I work in finance for entertainment, and I also am a sex worker. So I film and escort, and yeah, I've been doing that for 10 years. I left the industry in 2019 and then came back in 2023.
Amazing. Okay, so let's start the interview talking about it. So tell me when the opportunity came along for you to start your career as an adult content creator.
Sure. So I started in the adult entertainment world back in 2015. Someone recruited me off of Facebook. I was 22, or I was 21 when we started having conversation, and then 22 at the point that I filmed my first scene for Men.com. So 2015.
Amazing. Oh, wow. So nowadays you work in finance, also related to the adult content, the adult entertainment? Oh, no, it's different. It's a totally
Nope.
different.
Completely separate career, completely
career.
separate. So that's under my real name, under my real world, like
I see.
that. So Scott Riley has been my adult entertainment persona for the last decade, and then my real name is Brandon. Brandon is, I live my own life. So
I
Scott
see.
Riley has his, and Brandon has his, and Brandon unfortunately has to control both.
Amazing. And tell me, where are you from, Scott?
I am from Mississippi. I'm from a very small town. I was born in Greenville, Mississippi, but I'm from a smaller town outside of that is where I grew up.
Wow. And that's the place where you're based right now?
No, I'm based in Los Angeles now. I live in Los Angeles, California now for almost 7 years.
And why did you change from Mississippi to Los Angeles in California?
So I actually went from Mississippi to, I lived several places. So I was in Fort Lauderdale, Chicago, Houston, San Francisco, Provincetown. I bounced around a lot. So I went from, Mississippi to figuring out where I wanted to be to settling on Los Angeles.
Besides the weather, what's the biggest joy of waking up in Los Angeles every morning?
Um, this city has everything that you could want. So like anything in the entertainment industry, which I am a performer, I am a singer and actor. I've done a lot in entertainment, and so this is just one of my favorite cities to be. But you could go into any random comedy club at any point in time during the week, and you could get headliners just practicing new content and material and all of that. And so I don't know, it's a very magical city in so many ways.
And what's the most challenging part of living there, in your opinion?
Because everyone comes here for their art, their craft, their whatever, it can be a very lonely city.
Okay.
Um, because like even though it's a city of millions, it's there everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and if you don't fit into their life at that time, then you kind of end up taking a back seat while you do your own thing.
I get your point. I get your point. I've been living in London most of my life, and it's the same feeling as well. It's such a beautiful city. There are always people everywhere. You can connect with people, from all parts of the globe, and suddenly you feel surrounded about a lot of people. At the same time, you can get home and feel very lonely, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Scott, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, let's do it.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have my friend. Run the fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Easy. Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, don't want to talk about, always can change, okay? Easy. First question is, tough question. If someone gave you an envelope with your death date inside of it, would you open it or not, and why?
Absolutely. I think that, you know, if you could know when you're going to die, because that's kind of the thing about life, right? Is like everyone is inevitably going to die. If you could know when that's going to happen, you would definitely be able to live your life to the fullest in a more exact way, a more pointed way. Like you could definitely have a different perspective going through life. So, yeah, I think that if I could, I would.
Oh my God, you know what? I'll be very tempted, but I don't think I would be brave enough.
No, you don't think you would do it?
I don't think I would. I think I would look at it. I was like, oh no, I don't want to open it. I think I'll be so scared to open it. Saying that, what's the meaning of life for you?
What's the meaning of life? The life for me is all about connection.
Mhm,
So it could be any type of connection. It can be a friendship. It can be an acquaintance. It can be a random person that you meet on the street and maybe have one conversation with and never see again.
mhm.
It could also be love. Life is meant to be shared, and so doing your best to do that, I think, is kind of what the meaning of life is for me.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for.
uh, which one do you want to know? Life is always teaching us lessons, and so it's
Mhm.
kind of just like picking up on what direction it's going. But oh, I don't know. I don't know that I have a good answer for that because there's just a lot of lessons that life has taught me. I
Not,
think that the
not,
biggest
not,
thing is actually that it's. I think the biggest life, like the best lesson that life has taught me so far, is that there will always be more lessons.
I like that. It's so true. It's so true. I think life is a roller coaster, like up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Scott. Next question is, what is something that not many people know about you?
Oh gosh. I don't know because I actually keep most of my stuff pretty honest and straightforward with people when they, you know, like I've had a lot of followers follow me from the beginning of my porn career to when I quit and left and deleted everything and they only followed me through my Brandon profile. Um and I just tend to keep things pretty open and honest with people. So I don't know that there is really anything that people don't know about me.
Tell me a routine or private routine that you have that for you is like, oh, you know, people they don't know that. Could be anything like your daily base. You know, you have our own things in private that you don't even, you know, put too much attention. And when people discover, they go like, oh, that's different. Or, you know what I mean? There's
Sure.
something.
Um some people already know a lot of these things, but like I write parodies. Like, so I take famous people's songs and I write parodies about my own life with them.
Oh wow.
So I sang, you know, I do it, I perform every once in a while, but I did one not too long ago with, it was a Chapel Roan medley and it was about conversion therapy.
Tell me something. As you mentioned before in the beginning of the interview, that you know you were working at entertainment for a few years and you had a break and you came back now. My question
Mhm.
is, why you decide to have a break? You know, through it, and did something happen? Or just like, okay, let me just, I don't know, have a little, you know, different time in my life.
Yeah, I needed the break. Mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the above. I needed the break. It. I had been going, you know, I'd been firing at all cylinders since 2015, since I joined the industry, and a lot of things had happened in my life, ups and downs, and I started having some health issues in 2019. It started before that, but it got pretty bad in 2019 and then 2020. And then COVID happened and a lot of stuff happened during that. And I just kind of needed a period of time where I could let my body do whatever it wanted to do.
Hmm.
I have neurological issues. And so I couldn't work out in the way that I like normally did. And so I gained a lot of weight and I had to, you know, I had to go through a lot of like it was a long process trying to let my body settle, find the right medication, go to the right doctors, do the right things, and then get back into shape. And I was not in shape when I started back in the industry in 2023. That was when I like had started losing weight, and now I'm back to pretty close to what my body was before.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, tell me, when you think about Mississippi, yeah, states, had people here from most of my guests, they're from the US. And of course, the Magic Box been traveling all around the US, which I find very amazing because I've been, learning a lot about the country. And so tell me something, in your opinion, that Mississippi stands out to compare with other states in the US, in your opinion.
So Mississippi is it is a very southern state. It is very religious. It is very like in terms of all of the states in the South, I think Mississippi is definitely the furthest behind. So it's, there's still some racism there. There's still some homophobia, transphobia, all of the above. But I will say that one thing that is beautiful about Mississippi is it's a ton of farmland, it's a ton of swamps and stuff like that. So it is very like visually pretty. Just not the best place for queer people to live.
And for you growing up, of course, I'm sure it wasn't that easy for you. Did you have the support of your family at the time, or was very tricky for you?
It was all tricky for me, but not necessarily because of my immediate family. My oldest brother is also gay. The middle brother doesn't really care. My mom is very supportive, but like growing up and coming out, there was just more to my story than just like being a queer kid growing up in the South. I've been on my own since I was 15, and uh, so I wasn't ready to come out that young. There was a lot going on in my life that I needed to figure out. So
Okay. Next question is, tell us a funny story that happened to you when you were a child at school.
oh god, a child at school. um I don't know that I can think of necessarily anything. It's like the story that comes to my mind wasn't at school, but it was when I was a child, and it was with my mom and my brothers. We did this thing regularly where we would go to this one restaurant and have dinner. It was like a buffet style, so you'd get your plates and sit down. So I was sitting there and I sneezed really loud and really hard, and my head hit the table. And it was so loud that everyone in the restaurant saw it and heard it. And so that was it's really funny and really silly.
Which person in your life you feel more connected with or more close to right now?
Um, just in general,
Yeah.
I'm closest with my friends at this moment. So I have 3 to 5 really, really good friends. One of which I live with. I live with my best friend.
Okay.
And so he's probably the closest in my life at this moment.
Okay, so he's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say?
Um, Maybe clean the stove and take out the trash. Uh, no, I'm kidding. He actually cleans everything. He's
Oh,
fantastic. He's a sweetheart. Uh, he knows where he stands in my life. It means a lot to have him in my life. I lost my best friend in 2020. And so like connecting with people in that way is not always the easiest thing to do whenever, like when you lose someone that to you. And so having someone like him in my life where, you kind of just get to be and exist and share space and talk and the ups and the downs, and it's great. He's a fantastic person.
sweet. And how did your path cross, if you can share?
So Ryan, I was in a relationship at the time that we met. We were at a pool party, and Ryan had shown up to meet up with this guy from Grinder that he didn't even know. So he showed up to see this guy from Grinder at a pool party where he didn't know anyone, just to see this guy that he also didn't know. So he
Oh my
was
God.
really shy and he was really timid. And so I was in the pool and so I just like pulled him over to the corner and we were chatting. And that's kind of how we got to know each other. And then I invited him to go to an event like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, to my birthday, actually. And so, yeah, that's how our friendship started.
Sweet. Scott, when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Scott?
Ooh, what do I like the most about being Scott? So that's a very specific question because Scott is obviously my adult entertainment name. It's that side of myself. So, like, speaking about that specifically, um, that has been with me through all of the ups and downs of my adult life.
Hmm.
And so it's really fun to kind of get to see, like, I get to reshare Scott with people in a way that I didn't before because now I'm a different person. And so people get to see the growth from then to now and all of that. So I think that yeah, I think that's kind of
What
where I'm at right now.
What's the biggest difference between Scott and Brandon, and the biggest similarity between both?
There's not really a ton of differences
Hmm.
because I kind of am myself no matter where I am or what name I'm going by. The biggest differences between the two of them is that Brandon's goals in life are like Brandon has to focus on the things that he wants to accomplish. Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? And Scott gets to focus on just being Scott. Here's the personality. It all presents itself. It's its own character. It's, all of that, right? Like, so Scott gets to do all of those things. The similarities are both of us are very slutty.
You don't let Scott just be the whole thing. You share with Brandon as well.
Yeah. Brandon has his needs as well, you know?
Love it. It's amazing. Next question. Okay, next question is, what does success mean to you?
um, Success to me comes in a couple of different forms because I have different layers with that. But I think that the biggest overarching thing there is just total financial uh, independence. Like, I completely don't have to look at my bank account or worry about my money anymore. I think that once I reach that point, that checks that box of like standard success in the world's eyes. Success to me individually, I have a lot of things that I want to do. So we've got different boxes and different genres for what success looks like in different parts of our lives. But a lot of those, like some of those would be like write and sell a script, do my one man show, do stand up, get into stand up and do that. So I've got different things, but yeah, I don't have just one bubble of what success looks like, thankfully, because that would be very boring.
Tell me what do you like the most about being part of the adult entertainment? What do you like the most about your career? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging?
Sure. I started my adult entertainment career at like the peak, right? So like I came in and I worked with men.com immediately and Falcon Studios and Nextdoor
Oh,
Studios. And so like I immediately started working with all of those big names. I was traveling around. I was constantly in nightclubs getting booked for like headlining go-going and doing all of that. So I had a really, really fun career and I did not have a lot of negative to say about it. Um, it has been really really fun, but I think the thing that I love the most about it is just the general connectivity that people have with Scott, like with what my role has been in their lives. Sometimes it's hypersexual, like it's just like, oh, here's this performer who I've masturbated to many times, or whatever. But then on the flip side, I think that there is definitely a level of when you're an adult performer, or like a content creator or anything like that, there's definitely a level of like romance slash friendship slash things like that that kind of take a minor backseat when you're like super busy. um but I think that's everyone's life. Like, I think work always ends up taking the forefront of.
in your opinion, what's the biggest misconception that people still have regarding the adult content creators?
It's interesting because so when I left the industry, it was before I'd gotten into OnlyFans.
Mhm.
And now coming back, it's all OnlyFans. And like, yeah, studios still exist and they still film, but it's very different now, and I don't have the connections that I once had. And so I think that I don't know, like the biggest misconception is probably that there's just one type of person who does it.
Mm,
Like sometimes people have this idea of what it looks like to be a content creator and what those people's lives look like, and that's just not the case. I mean, there's a very broad, like a very broad spectrum of like different types of people that do it. So I don't know. Yeah, that's probably where I'd go with that.
I see. Okay. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so as the beginning of the interview, you mentioned about that you are an actor, a dancer, a performer as well. Tell me 3 names of 3 artists that for you you always be inspired by, in the acting or dancing career. 3 names.
Sure. So in the acting world, Dan Levy. So, Schitt's Creek, that show in and of itself, the characters in that show, the what it is, all of that. So I guess I'm going to give you shows and not people because I don't necessarily look at certain performers. I look at genres.
Okay,
So that, and then like The Office, SNL. So like I guess that kind of like sketch comedy style uh, acting is where I thrive the most. I have an improv background,
I
and
see.
so that's kind of where I go.
In the music industry, do you have like singers, performers that you always be inspired by?
Yeah, I mean, like I could always throw out the Jonathan Groffs, the like it's more musical theater than it is like I'm not a pop singer. I'm not someone who's going to come out with a huge ballad and do all of those different things. I have different artists that I listen to frequently.
Mhm.
Renee Rapp is up there with people that I listen to a lot. We love our little lesbian queen. Uh, yeah, her, Gaga. I listen to a lot of singer songwriters. So like JP Sachs is someone that I listen to a lot. Conan Gray,
Okay.
super super talented. Yeah.
Okay. So those artists just mentioned right now, one day you're gonna wake up, in the morning having 3 missed calls on your phone for those artists, Lady Gaga, the other 2 you mentioned right now. Which one you call back straight away? Which one you send a
Oh,
wait?
if
Well, which one you send a message? I'll call you back later. And the
okay,
third, the third one, you don't call back, you don't send a message, just ignore them.
okay. So is it Renee Rapp, Lady Gaga, and Conan Gray?
Yeah.
Uh, Sorry, Conan Gray, but that's the one I won't contact back. Uh, so sorry. Uh, I think if Gaga calls you, you have to call back right away. So I'm gonna put Renee Rapp in the bubble of I would text her and say I would call her later. Um, but personally, and this might be a hot topic, a hot take, uh, Renee Rapp is my diva. So I might would just actually call Renee Rapp back and tell Gaga I'll call her later.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay, I'll take that. Next question is, which question would you like to be asked?
Just something that someone just asks me. It's something that's really, so I like when people get personal with me. So like not necessarily just sticking to adult entertainment or anything like that. I like when people want to get to know me. And
Okay,
so asking things that are more like, okay, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like what are some things that you're working on right now that we can be on the lookout for? Things like that. Because
okay.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead. Sorry. No, carry
That's
on.
okay. I was just gonna say I'm very much a Gemini, so like I've always got my hands in many, many pots.
Okay, okay. So based on your answer, I'm gonna ask a question. What do you know what I mean? You having 2 different careers right now. I'm sure you enjoy both. When you think about both careers, do you think that, let's say, in the future, you're still gonna be connected with either, or you do find yourself with a totally different career in the future?
So I actually think that the two careers are going to completely mesh.
Okay.
Um, I don't know how long I will do adult entertainment in the way that I'm currently doing it.
Okay.
But that on that same note, a lot of my like performances and things that I write and things that I do as Brandon are also about sex work. They're also about content creation and being an escort and doing all those things because it's just about sharing my story. So I think that where this is going to end up going is I'm going to create a lot of humor and different scripts and different sketches and whatnot based off of the stories that Scott Riley has to tell. So I
Wow.
think that's the direction it's going to go.
I love that. And saying that, what will be the title of your memoir?
So I already have the title of my memoir and I've already been working on it. Uh,
Can you share? If you don't need to, if you don't want to, maybe it's too early. It's up to you. You don't need
it
to.
is too early, but I really like the name of what it is. It's too early to share right now, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I like the surprise. I'd like to
The,
see things out.
Here, well, yeah, because I don't want to share the name and then have it. Yeah. I won't
Totally.
share
No,
the name until I have everything copywritten and all that.
I got it. Other question for you regarding the adult entertainment, industry. As you mentioned as well that you work as an escort as well. Do you think that Los Angeles, you can make more money creating, content or, being an escort? What do you think that based on your experience?
Ooh, honestly, they're pretty similar in the amount of money that I make from each right now.
Okay.
In LA. Now, if I lived in another city, I would have a different answer. So in New York, I make a lot more as an escort.
Ah,
Um,
why is
Washington
that?
D.C. I don't
Why?
know. I think it's just there's a climate surrounding different cities, right? So like when you think about New York, it's a lot of finance bros, it's a lot of bisexual men who are closeted, who are exploring different avenues in different ways, or it's people who just don't have a lot of time in their schedule because they're working 12 to 15 hours a day. Whereas LA is a very open city. It's very, most of the people that are hiring me here are people who have freedoms in their life and they're able to do whatever they want. So I think that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
I've never like actually taken the time to do the math and find the metrics, but if I had to guess, that's probably why.
Okay. 2 questions left.
Two questions.
Okay, next question is, which bad habits you wish you could stop?
Bad habit. I don't know. I'm a procrastinator, so maybe
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, carry on.
I don't really have a lot of bad habits because like so much of what my life is like you have to have your things in order, and I also like I don't do drugs and I don't smoke cigarettes or do anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just say procrastination.
And do you consider yourself to be more of a day or a night person?
Day.
Yeah.
I can be a night owl. I can stay up late, but it's not out in public, and it's not really like social. That's usually when I'll stay up late writing or something like that. But yeah, I'm more of a day person. I like being out in the daytime.
And do you see yourself living in Los Angeles for a long while, Scott?
Yeah, so I've been here for 7 years, or December will be 7 years, and I can't imagine living anywhere else in the U.S. So unless I leave the U.S., I think I will probably live here forever.
I see.
But I
And
also think I'm going to leave the U.S.
and if you could live anywhere else, besides the US, where that to be?
I'm very open on that. So I've not traveled outside of the U.S. too much yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Spain. My brother lives in Spain.
Wow.
So he and his wife and my niece are in Spain.
Oh,
And
sweet.
so, yeah, so I love Spain. I would live in Spain in a heartbeat. It's also the only language that I'm even close to knowing. So, I could at least learn Spanish pretty well. I've heard great things about London, so I would definitely try London. Um, I also really love Australia. I'm going there next month for the first time, so I'm really excited to see that. And I would also live in Mexico, like Puerto Vallarta, Mexico City, anything like that. I think would be really pretty.
What's your favorite Spanish word?
uh, my favorite Spanish. I mean, I love to cuss in Spanish, so I love a good hijo de or a so probably sucia. That's what I call my friends.
You know, origin from Brazil, and Brazil, you know, Portuguese is very similar
Yeah.
to yeah. And I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna teach you if you don't know yet how to say last question. Do you know how to say last question in Spanish?
Uh, I don't know how to say, not necessarily pregunta.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Pergunta
know
is
the word for what is it?
yeah, yeah. Pergunta means question. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in Portuguese you say última. So última pergunta.
Última pregunta. So it's
Perfect.
still pregunta in
Yeah,
Portuguese as well.
Portuguese. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I think última as well as in Spanish, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, so última pergunta.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It would be ultima.
Yeah.
Yeah, ultima pregunta. Yeah, because I was like, I couldn't think of the word for last. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Last question.
Let's do it. But before the last question, I'm going to ask one question in three parts. The first part of the question is, you know, when you start your career with the big studios, yeah, like start your career, I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell, to share. The first part of the question is, tell me a moment that was funny doing your shoots or your career that for you was like, wow, that was very funny to be or to see. The second part of the question is, something challenge that for you was like, wow, that for me was very challenge to be part of it or to, you know. And the third part of the question is, if you could choose anyone in the world for a collaboration, which person that would be? So three questions in one.
Okay. So something that was funny. I can't think of something in particular that was funny necessarily that happened that was like this broad or like this very specific thing. But there was a there was a performer who I filmed with multiple times who just every time we filmed together we just cackled like little schoolgirls. And so it was just really fun to have that because like I think we filmed together like four times and it was just really fun to have that where it's just like you're going to this thing and it's supposed to be super sexy and professional and whatever, but we also know that it's not. And so, it was nice to be able to like get there and laugh and have fun. I always tried to keep it like that on set.
Uh-huh.
Keep the air, like keep the energy light, keep everything easy and breezy and funny and whatever. Something challenging. So I'll give you like a physical challenging thing that I did. So my very first shoot for Falcon was it was in Vegas, it was in a nightclub, whatever. I had gotten sick the night before.
Oh,
And so the next day, I was terrified, right? I didn't sleep hardly at all. I was loaded up with Imodium. I was loaded up with Dayquil. And I got to set, just powered through it, a good 4 to 6 hour shoot. And yeah, that was super fun. So the director, when we would stop and have to reset or do something, the director would bring his jacket over to me and wrap it around, and
oh.
that was definitely not fun. Yeah, I can't think of. So like, there are several things that happen during my time when I was an adult entertainer.
And if you could choose, well, sorry, carry on. Sorry.
No, what were you saying?
Not about to say, if you could choose anyone in the world to collaborate. It don't need to be in the same industry. Could be anyone that you go like, wow, that would be someone that I would enjoy doing it.
Oh, you know who I think would be really fun for a collaboration? I would pick Pedro Pascal.
Wow. Have you seen the movie, the new Materialistic? Have you seen Materialistas? I think
I
he's on it.
have. I didn't love the movie, but I do love him.
Wow.
I just think that he would be, because he's goofy and silly and fun, but you also can tell that he has like a really sexy edge to him. So I think that would be a really fun person to like do anything with. Really, it doesn't even need to be filmed. It doesn't have to be a collaboration. Pedro, if you just want to have sex, you know.
Amazing. Other question just came up to my mind now. What has been the longest time that you're shooting, and the shortest one? Do you remember like the longest and the shortest one?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the shortest amount of time that I ever like beginning to end, walk in, walk out was about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So that was for a smaller studio, but it was still just like unheard of to like walk in and walk out that fast, get the scene done, get out. The longest was somewhere around like 12 to 13 hours.
Why is that? If you can, why is that?
So there are a number of reasons why something like that could happen. It could be something that happens on a technical standpoint, like cameras aren't working or lighting or something like that. Or it could be, when we're talking about adult entertainment, someone's is not staying hard or something like that. Or someone's sick and they're not able to perform, or yeah, there are a number of reasons why a day may be long, and a lot of times it's surrounded by like a performer not performing.
Have you ever fell in love with someone or not? Because it can be a bit tricky in this environment. Do you think I had some content creators here, and they said, "William, it can happen. However, it's difficult. How can you tell that based on your experience?"
Yeah, so I didn't really ever have that in studio porn at all. I don't remember ever like having real feelings for someone. Content creators, no, I haven't really. Like I've had some pretty solid connections with people, but there's never been like I've never been in love. Like I'm not someone who says like I've ever been in love. I believe in love. I love love, but
Yeah.
I've not been in love, and so for me, like that would be something very specific. So no, I don't think that
Okay.
it hasn't happened for me.
Okay.
Not to say that it doesn't happen for other people.
Oh no, absolutely. No, I got your point. Of course. Not you just talk for yourself and
Yeah.
genuinely for yourself. And I get your point. I think sometimes it's not there for some reason. It could be or it might be, but for now it's not there yet. So
Right.
I get it. Last question is, what did you want to be growing up?
Oh, what did I want to be growing up? So I always wanted to be a performer. So I always wanted to be, an actor, singer. Like I wanted to go musical theater. And the other thing that I always wanted to be was a doctor. So
Wow.
I always wanted to work in specifically with kids. So I wanted to be a pediatrician once upon a time.
Wow.
Now I hate children, so that's not a thing. But
Did you ever like growing up, or when you start being as a teenager, an adult, did you ever cross your mind that one day you would be involved in the adult entertainment or not?
it crossed my mind when I was a teenager. So like when I was, in that 12 to 16 range where, I'm watching porn on the dial-up internet and all of that, and I was like, oh, I could do this. I could see myself doing something like this. But you never think about it like seriously until
Uh-huh.
it presents itself. But I think because I had those thoughts as a teenager, that was why it was so easy for me to say yes, because it was something that I had already considered as like a thing that I could do.
I see.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so the yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say one word and you just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
start with money.
Sex.
Okay, I like that. Fear.
Fear.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Family. Therapy. I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm like, it's about the same, right?
No, I'm joking. What comes to your mind when I say family?
When you say family, hardship,
Life.
Roller coaster.
Religion.
No.
Love.
Not yet.
Okay. Friendship.
Always.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
In the US, Rocky.
Okay. A desire.
Sex.
Regret.
Sadness.
Success.
Money.
Wish.
Hope.
Happiness.
Laughter.
One word for Mississippi State.
Redneck.
One word for Los Angeles.
Dreams.
USA.
Hardship.
And the last one now. Adult content creator. One word.
The word just literally left my brain. Hang on. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hustler.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend, the one you live with, and I'm going to ask him. Define Scott in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say about you?
Only one positive word and one negative word. One positive word would be, I can't think of a word for what I'm thinking, but the trait that Ryan tells me is like my best quality, or like my most attractive quality that he sees in me is how honest and real I am with people. You never have to question what you're getting out of me. Like, I'm very, what you see is what you get. And you don't have to ask what's on my mind, because I'm gonna tell you.
Great.
One of my negative qualities, I can be apathetic.
See. Okay. Let's play now, Scott, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, but before we ask him the question, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they, consider starting a career in the adult business, adult content creator. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
It's definitely not as easy as people seem to think that it is. People seem to think that you can just start filming yourself doing things and that's going to take off, and that is not what it is. So come into it with a business mindset. You need to come into it understanding that it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to be successful. Just like any other job, any other career, like, you really have to put your best foot forward. Yes, you can see a lot of success quickly, but to keep that or to make it even larger, it takes a lot of work.
I see. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Scott.
Okay, so I don't know that much about you personally and all of that. So I'm going to ask you a question that I love when people ask me, just so we can get a big picture of who you are and what you're doing, right? So this is a very broad question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, and how does that pertain to your success for yourself?
A great question. I feel like I'm a job interview right now. Thank God I came with a shirt. Wearing a shirt. Okay.
I know, and I'm out here with all of my titties out and all that.
Great question. I picture myself as a full-time in the Magic Box, working in the Magic Box full-time. Also, I picture myself as well, let's say, doing another projects that I have connected with the Magic Box. I have other projects where, based on the show, but with different format as well, that I can have, for example, the word association game. I'd like to do some videos just based with different people. I have material here for 3 years, like every day. I've done like thousands of interviews. So something like, just an example, I would like to do some different formats of the show as well. And I would like to put that in practice. Also, in 5 years' time, I see myself with some people collaborate with me as well, people to somehow help me, because you never get anywhere alone. You need angels around you, you need people to guide you. And I see myself with those people around me. They will come in the right time, and I feel that already. And I think I see myself with this like this group, you know what I mean, together, and sharing ideas, sharing ideas, all based in the magic box. So it's something that when I picture myself in this time, it's, and of course through the process, other idea came along. You adjust yourself with other, ways. But yeah, when I think about it 5 years time, I picture myself there.
Sure. Well, so you answered that question all about your work, but what about your personal life? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are you in a relationship? Are you tell the
That's a
people?
that's a very good question, actually. And I'm very workaholic. I love it. And sometimes you let your personal life a little bit on the sides.
Hmm.
Right now, you're talking about love, about it's not around yet. I don't, right at this moment, I don't have anyone with me, and also I don't have a love for anyone in a romantic
Sure.
way. I was in the past, I had, relationships, I had loves, I had people that I really felt very connected at the time. But right this moment, Scott, there's no one that I go like, oh, I wish this person was with me right now. I'm looking forward to meet this person tomorrow. I'm open. Yeah, whatever when
Yeah.
happens, it will come. I'm Scorpio, by the way. Scorpio, we are very sexual.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, Scorpio is very sexual. Scorpio, we are very, it's the negative side as well. I love my own company, which sometimes is, put myself in a place where I need to expose myself more out there. But I work on it. Nowadays, I'm more sociable. I love meeting people, and I do, and I think. But before, I was even more like on my own words. But yeah, in 5 years' time, I don't know how to answer that, because if I want to, I think all of us, we have this tendency to maybe to build someone. It's a
For
tendency.
sure.
You know what I mean? We have this thing. Oh, it would be nice to have someone around. We never know. But if I want to, I would say yes, of course. Why not?
Sure.
However, if I picture myself 5 years time with someone, honestly, I don't know. However, I want to. But if yes, I'll be happy. If not, I'll be happy as well. So let's see. In 5 years' time, we have a catch up again to see what's happening at the time.
Okay.
So yeah,
We'll see
basically,
how that goes.
yes. I'm glad that we are recording, and if you know what I mean, and we can have a chat about that. Regarding this topic, and let's see what life is about. See, I'm very open. I'm very open to opportunities, not just business opportunities, but also for a lot of interest as well. You know what I mean? I like to have a connect with someone in a romantic way. Why not? It's beautiful. I think it's
Yeah,
amazing.
of course.
It can be very hard as well sometimes. It can be difficult. However, I think life is about challenge yourself and take how it comes. So I think it's a good place to be. I hope I answer your question in a way that's amazing.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. Yeah.
Thanks again. Thanks again, Scott. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so happy to connect with you, because you're such an open person. You talk very open about your career, about your life. And I think that's very inspiring, because people, sometimes we have some barriers to talk about those topics. And I'm sure you are breaking stigma right now. That's why I was, asking some questions regarding that, because I think we need to be more open-minded about it. We are just people living life, trying different careers, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's amazing for us to be, as long as we not hurt ourselves and others, why not? So thanks so much for being so open and talk about this entertainment that gets attention from people, like from everywhere.
Yeah.
Before you go,
that's
perfect. Carry on.
This might tie into what you're saying too just now. That's kind of the thing that I live by, is be the change in the world that you want to see.
Amazing.
I live my life that openly, because I need people to see that myself and people like me are just that, or just people.
And I love that, because again, breaking stigma, because people that we have this, sometimes we see things that society taught us, and this is wrong, this is right, this and that, and sometimes see someone, talking so open about it, and I can see how much you enjoy your career, your life. Why not? It's beautiful. Yeah. I think it's something to open people's mind. Thanks so much, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, enjoy your day. Awesome. And also recover to your pain that you had.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm used to it.
Oh.
It's I just have to go pick up a prescription. I'll be fine.
Perfect. Take care, okay? Enjoy your day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.